Many people open a Roth IRA, start contributing, and assume the money is automatically invested. Sometimes it is, sometimes it is not. On many brokerage platforms, contributions land in a cash position first. If you don't place a buy order, or you don't set up recurring investments, that cash can sit there longer than you realize. That creates Roth IRA, cash drag money inside a long-term retirement account that isn't compounding the way you intended. In this video, I'll explain the difference between contributing and investing, the most common reasons. Roth IRA money stays in cash, how to diagnose it in minutes, and a practical system to fix it today and prevent it permanently. Comment cash if you want the checklist pinned. I'm Alex from Wealth Architect, where we build wealth with mechanics, not hype. Before we start, a quick note. This is educational content, not financial advice. Brokerages and account settings differ. Always review your platform settings and consider qualified guidance for your situation. Now, the core mechanic. A Roth IRA is a container. It is not an investment by itself. There are two separate actions. Action 1, contribute. Money moves into the Roth IRA. Action 2, invest. Money is used to buy investments inside the Roth IRA. If Action 2 doesn't happen, you are not invested. You are holding cash. And this mistake is common because the funding step is designed to feel complete. You connect your bank. You schedule contributions. You get confirmation. You see a balance. That feels like progress. But a rising account balance can be mostly contributions. That is not the same thing as compounding. Now, why does money land in cash in the first place? Because brokerages need a temporary holding area to settle transactions and process orders. That holding area can be labeled differently depending on the platform, but you'll commonly see terms like cash balance settlement, core position, sweep, money market position, or buying power with a cash component. The label is not the point. The point is whether that cash is temporary or persistent. Temporary cash for settlement is normal. Persistent cash that grows month after month is cash drag. Now let's define cash drag precisely. Cash drag is the performance gap created when money sits uninvested instead of following your intended long-term plan. It is not a dramatic loss overnight. It is a slow leak. And slow leaks matter in retirement accounts because time is the primary advantage. If you lose time, you lose compounding, and you cannot buy lost time back. Now I want to run a quick diagnostic with you. When you log into your Roth IRA, you should be able to answer these 4 questions in under 1 minute. 1. What is my cash balance right now? 2. What percentage of my Roth IRA is cash? 3. Do I have recurring investments enabled, not just recurring deposits? 4. Are dividends and distributions reinvested or paid to cash? If you cannot answer those, you don't have a Roth IRA problem. You have a system problem. Now, the most common reasons Roth IRA money stays in cash. I'm going to list them. Then we'll build a fix that covers all of them. Reason 1. The account was funded, but no buy order was ever placed. This is the beginner version. The person did the deposit step and assumed the rest was automatic. Reason 2. The first deposit was invested, but future contributions still land in cash. This is the most common version. People invest once and assume all deposits are invested automatically. On many platforms, that only happens if you set recurring buys. Reason 3. Recurring contributions are enabled. Recurring investments are not. These are separate features. Depositing is not buying. Reason 4. Dividends and distributions are paid to cash. Even if you are invested, cash can slowly accumulate if distributions are not reinvested. Reason 5. Sale proceeds were left in cash. Maybe you sold to rebalance changed funds or reacted to news. The sell happened, the buy replacement never happened. Reason 6. Hesitation, also known as decision paralysis. You planned to invest, but you waited for a better time. Without a written rule and a deadline, waiting becomes indefinite. That's cash drag. Reason 7. Partial cash drag. This is the sneaky one. You are invested, but small amounts keep accumulating as cash dividends, leftovers, small deposits, and you never notice until the cash pile is meaningful. Now I want to make this more concrete with 3 micro scenarios. These are realistic and they show exactly how the drag happens. Scenario 1. The new investor. They open the Roth IRA, transfer money, see a balance, feel done. 6 months later, they check and realize most of the money is in cash because they never bought anything. This person doesn't need more information. They need a workflow. Scenario 2. The consistent contributor. They invested the first deposit, then set monthly contributions. Later contributions arrive as cash, and the cash line grows. They didn't realize recurring deposits are not recurring buys. This person doesn't need a new strategy. They need one setting recurring investment. Scenario 3. The optimizer. They read about different ETFs. They switched funds. They sold something during volatility, telling themselves they'll buy again later. The money sat in cash longer than expected. Cash drag happened through indecision. This person doesn't need more options. They need fewer decision points and a written rule. Now let's talk about how to find cash on most dashboards without naming brands. On most platforms, cash appears in one of these areas. 1. The Balances or Account Summary tab. 2. The Positions or Holdings tab, where cash is listed as a position sometimes with a name like Sweep or Core. 3. The Buying Power section, which often breaks down what is available as cash. If you only see a total balance and you don't see positions, you are not deep enough. Open the Roth IRA account view and look for positions or balance details. Now the key distinction. Cash that sits for 1 or 2 days after a deposit can be normal. Cash that sits across statement cycles and keeps growing is not a timing issue. It is a missing step. So instead of asking, "Is cash always bad?" ask this: "Is my cash persistent? Is it growing? Is it part of a plan? If not, it's drag." Now let's talk about how cash drag actually shows up in numbers without exaggerating. If you contribute consistently but forget to invest, your Roth IRA balance will still rise. That can create a false sense of success, but you are only stacking deposits. You are not compounding. Over time, the gap between what you could have had if invested and what you have in cash becomes meaningful. Not because cash disappears, but because time passed without compounding. Now the fix. I'm going to give you a fix that works in 3 layers. Layer 1, fix the cash that is already sitting there. Layer 2, fix the pipeline so new contributions get invested. Layer 3, add a simple audit so the mistake cannot quietly return. And I'll structure it as 24 hours, 7 days, and 30 days so you can execute without overthinking. First, the 24-hour fix. Objective: confirm reality and stop the leak today. Step 1, log in and find the cash line. Step 2, write down the cash amount. Step 3, check your activity history for the last deposit. Look for deposit posted, then buy order posted. If there was no buy order, you found the missing step. Step 4, identify the source of cash. Is it contributions? Is it dividends? Is it sale proceeds? Step 5, invest the meaningful cash according to your plan. I'm not telling you what to buy. This is not financial advice. The point is to implement your plan so the Roth IRA is not idle by accident. Step 6, confirm execution. A frequent failure mode is placing an order and assuming it executed. Confirm it executed and the cash amount decreased. That is the 24-hour fix, locate, measure, trace. The source, invest, confirm. Now the 7-day fix. Objective: prevent the same mistake next month. Step 1, enable recurring investments if your platform offers it, not recurring deposits. Recurring investments. This is the single highest leverage change for most people. Step 2, if recurring investments are not available, create a strict rule. Every time a contribution posts, you invest it within 24 hours. Put it on a calendar reminder if needed. That's not weakness. That's system design. Step 3, set distribution preferences. If you receive dividends, decide whether to reinvest them automatically or keep them in cash intentionally. If you do nothing, many platforms default to cash. Cash can accumulate slowly and create partial drag. Step 4, reduce decision points. If you are stuck because you can't decide what to buy, simplify. A Roth IRA is not a place to test 10 ideas. It is a place to execute one long-term plan consistently. Now the 30-day fix. Objective: build a durable operating system. Step 1, install a 2-minute monthly audit. Once a month, check cash balance, recent activity, whether scheduled buys executed, and whether dividends are reinvested as intended. 2 minutes prevents multi-year drag. Step 2, create a cash ceiling rule inside the Roth IRA. Here is a simple version. Cash inside the Roth IRA should remain near zero except for settlement timing. If cash exceeds your ceiling, you invest it on the next scheduled date. That prevents partial cash drag from quietly building. Step 3. Keep a one-page plan, contribution schedule, default investment process, distribution setting, monthly audit date. If you can't explain your Roth IRA workflow on one page, it is too complex to maintain. Now I want to address a common question that keeps people stuck. Should I wait for a better time to invest? Here's the mechanical answer without debate. If you have a written rule with a deadline and you follow it consistently, that is a system. If you are waiting based on feelings, waiting is usually just hesitation. And hesitation creates cash drag. Your Roth IRA is a long horizon account. A long horizon account needs a process you can repeat. Now a second question. Is it ever okay to hold cash in a Roth IRA, sometimes for short settlement periods, or if you have a clear written reason? But persistent cash without a written rule is not strategy, it's drift. And drift is expensive over time. Now let's talk about the last common failure mode. People fix it once, then it returns. They invest the cash today, but they never set recurring investments, and they never do the monthly audit. So 3 months later, cash builds again. That's why this needs to be a pipeline, not a cleanup. Pipeline means contribution arrives. Investment happens automatically. Dividends follow a rule, audit confirms it. Now here is a short audit script you can run every month, word for word. Cash balance, is it near zero or growing? Last deposit, did it trigger a buy order? Dividends, did they reinvest or land as cash? If anything looks off, fix it immediately. That is the maintenance routine. Now let's compress everything into a final checklist you can follow without thinking. 1. Find your Roth IRA cash balance line. 2. Check whether your last deposit triggered a buy order. 3. Invest meaningful cash according to your plan. 4. Enable recurring investments or enforce a strict invest within 24 hours rule. 5. Set dividend reinvestment preferences or a consistent redeploy rule. 6. Run a 2-minute monthly audit and enforce a cash ceiling. If you do those 6 steps, Roth IRA cash drag stops. Quick question before we end. When you log into your Roth IRA, do you see a cash balance sitting there? If you're not sure, comment "not sure." And I'll tell you what labels to look for and where the cash line typically appears on most brokerage dashboards. Comment cash if you want the checklist pinned. This content is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always review your platform settings and consider qualified guidance for your situation. You're watching Wealth Architect.